Hey, hey, it's Jody of Fervor Voice here. It is Wednesday. Well, no, I recorded the first one on Wednesday and had technical issues with that. I gotta get better with it. How is it falling apart this late in the game? Doesn't matter. Anyway, now it's actually Friday. It is Friday, December the 8th. Um, we're supposed to be working on control, right? Controlling what? So today it's about controlling your time. Last week it was about controlling your information. So let's get right into it. Controlling your time. Let's do it. Hey, hey, is Jody ready to get this thing going? About time. We controlled or talked about controlling our information last week. Controlling your information is imperative. When you're trying to stay focused on something, when you're trying to stay clear on something, controlling your information is imperative. The next part of that is controlling your time. You have to have time before you have anything, right? You can't move on to anything without actually having time. Time is that thing that's it's irreplaceable. You cannot replace the time you have been given. Every second that ticks away is a second closer to whatever you're talking about, whether you're talking about a second closer to your next phase, a second closer to adulthood, a second closer to whatever the goal, whatever even the end goal may be. But time is never given back. It's invaluable. That's another thing. Time is invaluable. You can't put a value on time. There is absolutely no way. You just can't. Time is something that we are all given. Every living, breathing thing, and even things that are not living, breathing, functional things. I'm sitting here on I'm on my daughter's patio, and I'm sitting in her little, I guess she calls it an egg, so her egg chair. And I'm rocking back and forth, and this thing is not going to be here forever. Like, this will not be something that can be used forever. It's got an expiration as well. It's got a certain amount of time that it will function, especially, being out in the elements. It's got a certain amount of time that it'll function. The cars and, in the parking lot, they all have a certain amount of time that they're going to function. The table that holds all of her plants and things, that's got a certain amount of time as well. So when I think about time, it literally describes something about everything. How long, right? So with time, consider these important things about your time. When you're doing things, consider whether or not it's worth it. Is it worth my time? You're not going to get it back. Period. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 10 minutes. There's a woman that has she does this little thing on Instagram. I do spend a lot of time on Instagram because when I get a little break, I just want to laugh. So there are a couple of people that I go to. I'm going to put this woman's link in the description as well. So this woman talks about how she'll do anything or come up with any excuse to get off the phone because she's controlling her time. Now it sounds, kind of rude, sounds silly, sounds, whatever. But she's doing that to control her time. She's just making a joke out of it. So there's so many different things. There's so many different things that she says she has to do. And she has to get off the phone. Let me go do this and let me go do that. But anyway, it's cute. It's funny. It's innocent. It's clean. And that's something that I think about every single time there's something that needs to be done. And it's just like, am I gonna get this done? Is it worth it? Is it worth my time? If I can't give you 5 minutes of my time, it's something that's not worth doing. And there are some times when, the phone will ring and I look at it. I'm not picking up. It's just not worth my time. It's just not worth my time. And I'm not going to get it back. So, yeah. Another thing to consider, what am I going to gain from this? What will I gain from this? Another thought comes to mind. So I get a phone call, right? People call me because they know I'm at home, right? So I get a phone call, this rant. just going in. About 10 seconds into the phone call. And I'm sitting there. And it's just one of those situations where it's really not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal to me. But it's a big deal to the other person. And they're ranting and raving about how they gonna do this and gonna do that. And they better be glad this and that and that. Because I'll do this and I'll do that. Conversations like that, I probably would have entertained those a few years back. But at this stage in my life, this point in my life, not only am I too old for it, it sounds stupid to me. I hate to say it, but that's what it is. It's just stupid. Like, who doesn't know better than to rant and rave about what you would have done and what somebody better be glad that you didn't do? You don't have to have a conversation about it. Whatever it is that you feel you need to be doing, go on and do it. You don't need to make threats to me. I don't even know what you're talking about. But things like that, just not worth my time. And I thought about that woman who makes up all the excuses to get off the phone. I didn't bother to make up an excuse. I wasn't on that. I literally just said, mid-sentence, in the middle of her rant, well, I'm getting ready to head out. I'm going to have to talk to you later, though. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. And it just stopped everything. It just stopped that rant completely. It was a little bit shocking. Because it just wasn't worth my time. For one thing, it was, like I said, it was ridiculous. That's number one. And number two, it just wasn't worth my time. It just wasn't. So getting off the phone, that's what was worth my time. What would I have gained from this conversation? Somebody going off, making threats about something that already happened that they did not do. Nothing. How could that have made a difference in my life? It couldn't have. Therefore, not worth my time. Had to control my time. I'm about to go. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I wasn't even going to say I'll call you back. I wasn't calling back. What? To hear back? No. I just let it go. So, this whole scenario comes to mind, and things just kind of fall in place the way they should. So with this being the episode that I'm talking about time and controlling your time, I have to share this situation that just recently happened. So I talked about on my last episode about my skating program that I'm putting out there. And then I'm, looking for places to do the program, to hold the program. I'm looking for all these different places, but I don't want just the run-of-the-mill spot. I was able to find a rec center, linked up with a lady, had called, linked up with her, and it was just like, okay, this is falling into place. She tells me, okay, I'm going to need you to submit some paperwork. I'm going to need you to submit some things. I'm going to need you to submit a proposal and, give me all the information about this program, what it will do, why it's important. We have to have a reason to be able to push this program forward. So I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. I can do that. I have that ready for you, tomorrow. That's no problem. I already knew what was in my head. I already had most of that pretty much drawn up anyway, because I know someone's going to ask for it. And the way I'm planning on marketing it is going to require some backup. It's going to require some information. So I had everything situated, had everything ready, and I wanted to make sure I curtailed it to that particular establishment. So I did all that, looked it over, sat on it, and then went back to it the next day when I'm fresh and clear and made sure that it was exactly what I wanted to put out there. And it was. Pushed it off and waited to hear back. So I waited for it was a couple weeks, probably about 2 weeks, yeah. And I hear back, and she says, yes, this is great. Everything looks great, and we're going to be able to do this. I think we're good. Okay, so I'm excited about it. She says it, I'm good to go. She sends me an email, says I'm good to go, and tells me how it's going to be laid out as far as what's allowed to be done with her establishment, the parameters and all of that. Which it was very basic. It was very general. So she gave me that information. Then I get started with my part as far as when I'm gonna have the sign up and, other things that need to be done and specific pricing, all of that. Okay, so then I said, well, let me make sure that we have our dates situated and the time situated so that I'm not trying to use the facility at the same time someone else is. And, let me make sure that we have this all in order. So I reach out and I don't get a response. I wasn't worried about it. I didn't worry about that because I know people are busy. Didn't get a response. No problem. No worries. Few days go by. Then a few more days go by and it's like, okay, wait a minute. It does not take that long. So I reached out again. I called. I emailed. I get nothing. This ghosting goes on for 2 weeks. And I'm just like, okay, something is wrong. Like, I'm specific about what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for anything major. I just need to know what dates we're dealing with so that I can put those dates out there. I mean, I got flyers and everything. Well, didn't hear back after 2 weeks. Gave her another few days and reached out again. And I said, you know what? Something's not right. Because it just doesn't take this long. So something's not right. So, hey, I do the only thing I know to do. I pulled up. Like, straight up. I just pulled up. And I walk in. She's in her office. This woman, I had been calling her office and she wasn't answering. Been calling her office. I know she saw my number. And then I walk in the door. Oh, hi, how you doing? I was a little thrown aback by that. But okay, hi, how you doing? Okay, I'm fine. I hope you are. Just came to talk about specifics. Okay, hold on. I'll be with you in just a moment. Just have a seat. Walks back in her office. Scrambles around some papers for a couple minutes. And she's on the phone. She gets off the phone. Come on in. I come in the office. And I didn't even sit down. Like, she looked at me and she's just like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. Now, make a long story short, this woman had promised something that she wasn't going to be able to deliver. And basically, I suffered for it. Now, I did a little bit of research and I did a little bit of digging around and I found out that she didn't even carry out the process correctly. That's not even the way the process goes. What I had to think about and what I had to kind of sit on and have a conversation with my husband too. Is this worth it? Is going back and forth about what she told me, these emails that I have, proving that she said this, and then when I get there and chase her down, she said that. Is this worth it? Is it actually worth it? So one of my close friends said to me, Jody, just slow down. Just slow down. We know to kind of be still when things like this happen. So just slow down. Just means that there's a little more work that needs to be done. Slow down. And I did that. And when I asked myself, was it worth it? I didn't know yet. I asked myself, would I gain anything from this? And I kind of felt like I would have if I stood on what she said and reported what was told to me. I felt like I would. And would it make a difference? I kind of felt like it would. Well, at the end of the day, if there's a process that needs to be followed, and if this is an establishment, like this is a county run program, it's run by the county. You can't just change it because someone misinformed you. This isn't just a private business where somebody could say, but you know what? I'll make some arrangements. I'll figure this out. Don't worry about it. We put our word out there. We'll fix it. No, this is This is like something that has to be done a specific way based on the statutes that are within that particular establishment. So there is no making it better. There's no making anyone whole. It just didn't work out the way I thought it would. And there's also information out there where I could research and find out step by step what's supposed to go on. And I do have to own the fact that I trusted this person and didn't do my own research. So in controlling my time, and as after Brian and I talked about it, it wasn't going to be worth it to fight about this. It wasn't going to be worth it for several reasons. Number one, it wasn't going to change the outcome. They're still going to make me go back and do it the way it's supposed to be done. Number two, it wasn't worth the strife that would have come about with this woman. This is this woman's job. It's her job. I have no desire to create any kind of an issue on someone's job. Did she do something incorrectly? She absolutely did. Did she do something unethical? Probably so. Probably so. But as I dug a little further, I recognized that the whole thing, that whole establishment is kind of run by some misinformed people. Because I got several different stories as to what should have happened. And then I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to gain anything from this. Best case scenario, even if things worked out, even if I did end up getting that space, this was going to happen again. Because this is just how they run their business. Yeah, it's run by the county. But we know what happens when we have, installations that are kind of run by lower budgets, fewer people. We know what happens. It's just not run correctly. And the more money that's pumped in there, the smoother the operation runs. Well, when it's a county run operation and, relies on a lot of donations and a lot of different grants, you're only going to get so much. You're only going to get so much. So in my opinion, there wasn't going to be a gain with that. So I let it go. Because it wasn't going to be worth my time and it wasn't going to make any difference. Everything that was supposed to be done was going to have to be done anyway. There were no easy routes. Even though she acted as though, oh yeah, I got this. Yeah, I'll handle it. There were no easy routes. And I think personally, it was an unethical thing that she was doing. That's why it all fell apart. That's why she stopped answering the phone. She stopped answering the phone because she knew she was wrong. And she stopped answering the phone because she chose to handle this like someone, you know what, I'm not even going to go there. You know what I'm saying. She wasn't answering the phone for a reason, and she handled herself in a way that I don't even need to describe or call out, because you know what I'm talking about. But this could work in my favor, and it will work in my favor, because I control my time. I said to myself, this is not something I want to get into. Why? Because it would not have been worth it. I don't feel there would have been a real gain in the end after I thought it through and after I talked with my husband. And I don't think it would have made a difference either, because the same steps were going to have to be followed regardless. So if I would have been jumping up and down, screaming and howling about stuff, okay, when you get through, this is what you need to do. Okay, you with it? So at that point, no, let it go. Let it go. You already got a taste of what they're about. So now how do you move forward and come up with an even better location, an even better facility, and people who mean business when they give you the go or when they tell you no? People who mean business, because I mean business. And this thing right here wouldn't have been worth my time not dealing with this group. So I got a lot of different ideas. They're pretty exciting, but right now I'm just trying to take it all in because I'm taking some time right now. Spending some time in Florida right now, and it's awesome. It's awesome. But this is time that's valuable for me. It's time that I need. And it's time that's going to make a difference. It's time that I'm gaining. I'm gaining something, gaining peace of mind. And it's allowing me to just kind of do some fun things, get some great ideas, and make my business, this other arm, even better. I don't know what is going on out here or what kind of alarm this is, but it sounds crazy. Anyway, yeah, this thing is about controlling your time. Whether or not it's your time at home with your family, your time at work, your time with a business you may be starting up, or your time with, I don't know, some kind of activity. Balance that thing out. It's got to be worth your time if you're going to go for it. Otherwise, you're going to feel cheated. Take those lessons in. When it seems like it's not right, it's probably not right. So do what I did. Control your time. Let it go and move on to something else and do it another way. There's always more than one way. You always have options. You always have choices. Take advantage of them. That's what life's all about. So live it. That's all I got for you today. This is Jody of Fervor Voice sharing what I feel was worth my time and yours. All right. So we'll pick up again on Wednesday, on the 13th, where we will talk about controlling your energy. That's the heavy one. That's the big one. So we'll do the energy one, and we'll let our control series go and move on to something even better. All right, y'all. It's Jody of Fervor Voice saying goodbye, and I need to enjoy the rest of my little time away. All right? Have a good one. Love y'all. Peace.